the audio real quick. There we go. I was too hyped in charge, y'all. I was too hyped in charge. Let's run this back. I said, yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Amara. This is Amara's Logic. Got a new video for you today. Milwaukee Bucks trades, rumors, and news live edition. Before we get into it, y'all know the spiel. Comment, like, subscribe, and share this electrifying content with the people. Y'all know we here to talk about the breaking news. Adrian Griffin has been relieved from his duties as the Milwaukee Bucks head coach. Salute to the chat. Best Bucks chat on YouTube, hands down. This is the best Milwaukee Bucks podcast on YouTube. And why do I say that? Everything we say is what now they're all of a sudden saying in the media. The right people are watching this podcast. Shout out to y'all. Y'all don't want to give us no props. That's cool. We making things happen, Bucks Nation. Salute to the friends and family in the chat. We told them what was going to happen. They just now figuring this out. We've been talking about Adrian Griffin getting fired since before Thanksgiving. And it's finally come to fruition. He had enough of a sample size. I don't want to see anybody lose their job, especially a head coaching job for a person of color. I know it's hard to come by. I get it. But this isn't about tribalism. This is about winning and losing and how you win and how the team is playing and the confidence the team has in the head coach. And you could clearly see this team was fractured. They didn't believe in Adrian Griffin at all. They weren't listening to him. And as we've stated in a previous podcast, the players were running that team and not the coach. There was no hierarchy. They didn't believe in Griffin. And maybe we were wrong and we put Adrian Griffin in a position to fail, especially since he wasn't aware of the Drew trade and seeing that Drew was as a great defensive player. Also, with the release or Terry Stotts leaving, he wasn't in a position to win as a first year head coach, and this wasn't the right job for him to take as a first year head coach. But I get it. You've been waiting 14 years. You've had 14 interviews and nothing popped off. This wasn't the right job for Griffin. He wasn't put in a position to be successful because for a first time head coach, you want to have time to grow on the job. You want to have time to adjust to the responsibilities and things like that. And for him to be thrust onto a championship team like this, we appreciate what you did, Adrian Griffin, getting us to 30-13. We appreciate the energy that you brought in your interviews and all that, but this was not the right position for you. This team needs to be guided by a coach that the players have respect for and has some type of pedigree as far as winning. If that's getting to the finals, if that's winning the finals, but at least the type of individual that the players would respect. I'm not going to sit here and moonwalk on Adrian Griffin's grave. Like I said, regardless of what we think, this man did lose his job. And I'm sure he thought he was doing a fine job seeing the record. But, hey, Griffin, it's deeper than rap, bro. The players was not messing with you like that, bro. And I don't like what the media is doing now. The new move, they trying to put this on Giannis and Dame, and it's not about that. It's not about Giannis and Dame. They wanted him gone. We, as a community of Bucks fans, wanted Adrian Griffin gone. And why did we want Adrian Griffin gone? We saw no adjustments. We saw none of the heralded defense that he was talking about, regardless of the personnel. We saw no changes at all from Adrian Griffin in his defensive scheme. We saw nothing on our offensive side. The pick and roll was spotty at best. We just didn't have an identity. And if you have a team that has a roster to win a championship, you can't go in with a coach that's not a leader and the players don't respect. That's not going to work. People are saying, "Oh my God, how could you do this?" If you don't know why this happened to Adrian Griffin, you're not a Bucks fan or you don't watch Bucks games because it's clear as day why this happened. Again, I don't want anybody to lose their job. I'm not saying that, but he wasn't meeting expectations on any level. I can't give him a check mark on any level besides attendance. That's the only check mark that he gets is attendance. Everything else, defensive philosophy, intensity, acumen, none of that's getting checked. The only thing he checks is that he come to work every day. That's it. That's it with Adrian Griffin, respectfully. This will be addition by subtraction. Because clearly with Adrian Griffin, the locker room was fractured. It was fractured. You could see it. The players were playing for themselves, not for the coach or the team. They're just like, we got to do this. You can't have a championship team saying, we just got to do this. Or drawing plays on their hand and doing all this other wild stuff. That is a team that has no identity. It's just chaos. This team was complete chaos. And everybody's talking about the record. We have to understand. I love the Bucks. I'm a Bucks fan, just like everybody joining this live right now. Salute to everybody joining the live. Can you please hit the like button? It don't come out y'all check, and it just helps the Bucks fans find the content and get me higher in the algorithm so we can grow this friends and family community of Bucks fans that we got going here. Appreciate y'all. Please hit the like button. But Adrian Griffin had to go. The record was good, but you have to look against who we played, the competition that we played. We had one of the lightest schedules in the NBA the first half of the season. The second half is going to get real, and we would have truly got us exposed defensively because we're going against quality coaches. That's why Adrian Griffin is gone. They knew he wouldn't be able to hack it the second half of the season, and we probably would have collapsed. I'm keeping it real. There would have probably been a complete collapse of this team had Griffin finished the year like a lot of y'all wanted, a lot of people wanted. And my thing is, what else did you need to see? What more time did you need to give him? You've given him half a year, half of a basketball season to show you something. He showed nothing. Adrian Griffin showed us nothing all year besides how to walk like an usher on the sideline. Yes, he's gone, and he deserved to be gone. Who's next? It don't matter who's next, because what we had was nothing. We didn't have no coach. People worried about who's next. It's not like we had a coach anyway. That's what y'all not understanding. The players were running this team. That coach was just a figurehead, a face man. That's it. He had no control. Nobody listened to Griff. That was their guy. He was like one of them. They didn't respect him at all. They told he wanted to play a certain type of defense. They said, no, we doing it like this. Okay. He couldn't even stand on nothing. You can't have a coach that the players don't respect. And I told y'all weeks ago, when Giannis came out and said that about a coach, I knew the writing was on the wall. I just didn't know if it would be during this year or not. I thought they might wait till the offseason. The writing was on the wall for this man to be gone. When your superstar is talking out about your coach, and he's never spoken out about any previous coaches, from Bud to Jason Kidd, that is letting you know he is speaking for the voice of the team. That's just not him. He is the voice of this team. So if he's saying that, you need to pay attention. And that's what I was telling y'all. I'm like, oh yeah, Giannis want dude gone. He want him gone. And salute the Bucks Nation. I told y'all, we move mountains over here on this podcast. Once we get focused and dialed in on an op, and it just happened to be our coach, Adrian Griffin, you're out of there. You're out of there. So now, Bucks Nation, we need to focus on what's next. What coach do we want? I know that it's looking like Doc Rivers, and Doc Rivers is a cool dude and all, but I'm not sold on him either. Doc Rivers has the most losses in playoff history, being up 3-1. And he's living off an old body from 08. He's living off an old body from 08. The last time he won a championship, it wasn't even 4K TVs out yet. It wasn't even 4K TVs out yet the last time he won a title. It wasn't no Nintendo Switches, PS5s. It wasn't even no Teslas out back then. That's a long time ago, Doc Rivers, for us to be talking about them chips. If you're going to come here, bro, we're not going for none of that either. We'll get you up out of here too. And shout out to management. They didn't wait. They pulled the trigger like, nah. Bucks Nation said we got to get rid of dude. He ain't helping us. Gibson Nicholas, he couldn't even say peace and love yesterday. We got to get rid of him today. Shout out to my man Gibson Nicholas in the Bahamas. Hey, they heard you, bro. The Gibson said it had to happen tomorrow, which is today, and it happened, Gibson. Salute. Shout out to y'all. So I'm going to put the link in the chat. I just want to give my little soliloquy real quick But let me go ahead and put the link in the chat for y'all to join. But again, this is not an Adrian Griffin bad session. We just want to talk about what happened and how the Bucks are going to move forward and become a better team. That's what we want to talk about. This is not the dance on Adrian Griffin's grave or nothing like that. I'm sure he's a nice guy, and like I think he'll be a great coach in the future. I just don't think that future is right now for this type of team. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we got the Bleacher Report boss checking in. He told me earlier today he had to get some stuff off his chest. Let me go ahead and tap into Bleacher Report boss. Hold on. Bleacher Report boss was good. Hey yo, I see you. I see you in the green room, bro. But I gotta give my man, the Bleacher Report boss a few minutes to cook, and then I'm gonna tap you in. Hey yo, I see you. Go ahead, Daniel.
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Bucks Nation. I mean, Gibson called it. I mean, we thought. I remember we all went off the air like we about to. We were talking. He was like, "You distraught. You sounded distraught." Everybody's like, "Man, we got to stick with his man for the whole year, the whole season."
Right.
But when I found this news out, I was shocked, but then like I heard why they did it, and I heard what the players was talking about. It
He
was deep.
But that's what we were saying before. I told y'all, I was like, he lost the locker room. And people was looking at me, I'm like, no, he lost. Once Giannis was vocal, he wasn't speaking for itself anymore. He was being vocal for the team. And then I knew it was a wrap. I just didn't know when it would happen. But go ahead, Daniel. My bad to cutting you off. Go ahead, Daniel.
No problem. No problem. After the play-in tournament and the information came out with Mike Portis going off on the coach, he lost the locker room right there. They said they lost him because they felt like he. You saw you seen when y'all was like riding up a play on the
That's not,
sidelines.
that
Like,
was it.
I mean, it shouldn't be that. Like, you should not have your players telling you how to run your team,
Or
and
telling you
two,
what they gonna do, not you telling them what to do. They telling you, nah, we doing it like this. What?
what? I mean, that's open Pandora's box by doing that, and they need to get a coach that'll tell Giannis, sit your ass down and
Or
do it
get in the
without.
paint. Get in the paint. You know what I'm
Again,
saying? Like have some identity. No, for real,
exactly.
you right.
And it's like it's too much of talking and back talking, but this is gonna be the third coach that the Bucks gonna have to have on the payroll.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever they're gonna have to stick with this person for years. Cause you already fired Griffin. You fired Bud.
Right.
They can't hire another coach after this. Like it's too much.
Right.
And
I agree with that. Good point. That's a fair point.
if I'm mad, I'll tell you, look, coach, no more talking back and bad about the coach. And you don't like what he's doing, you hash it out with him because we trying to win too. But
Right.
this third coach, Giannis and this team need to really, if it's Doc or whoever it is,
They got to be
they
ready to ride or die with the next coach. I agree with you. Facts.
quit.
Facts.
I don't see him hiring another coach after this because Giannis need to. They give you everything. They give you your brother. They give you your house. You got everything.
Right.
What else?
You got keys to the castle.
Yeah, what else you want after
Yeah,
this?
so I agree with that. The next coach we kind of we got to stick with. If that's Doc, if that's Kenny Atkinson, and I know Jeff Van Gundy has been mentioned too as a
I,
possible candidate.
I don't want that Wobble effect, man. I'm sorry,
At
man.
least he knows. But the thing is, regardless of how we feel about those coaches I just mentioned, at least they're seasoned and have
Yeah,
had success as coaches. You know what I'm
and
saying? So we got to at
it
least say that. We got to at
gotta be.
least say that. Because no matter what
Oh,
we had to do this Bucks Nation, we lost the locker room. It was over with. The players were done with dude. We had no choice.
bro, and then like, and the other part that was getting me mad was a lot of people was like, "Oh, well, why would you just get rid of a coach that had 30-13?" I'm like, "Do you guys watch the Bucks games?"
Right.
And then they're like, "Well, I'm like, you need to watch it. We struggled against a Piston team that was 4-39 or whatever.
Right.
A rookie had 20 some points that didn't even average anything. We were struggling against bad teams this year. I mean, I know the record is good, but the games we lost shouldn't be losses. You know,
No,
it just
I agree. I agree. Let me tap in Chitty here, and let me tap in Jeff here. I see y'all calling. We're gonna get a little bit of time limit, y'all. We got plenty of people trying to tap in. So let me get y'all on. We got Pronte in here. And then Jeff, I'm gonna tap you in here in a minute. So we got Daniel in here. Chitty, the most controversial man in the chat. Pronte right next to him. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Hey, Jeff, everybody in
Protect.
the green room, I'm gonna tap y'all in a minute. Let me let these gentlemen cook for a few minutes. I'm gonna tap y'all in. I just had Daniel do his intro. I'm gonna go to you, Pronte, then I'm gonna leave you for last, Chitty, because I know you got a lot to get off your chest. Go ahead, Pronte.
What's up, Daniel? What up, Titty? What up, Amara?
What up?
Hey,
What up? What up?
shout out to Gibson. Shout out to Gibson,
Hey,
man. He
salute to
called it.
Gibson.
He called it. Man, called it. He told them they had 12 hours, and they was like, you know what? We gonna take him 10.
Shout out to Gibson. Shout out to
He
Gibson.
made the deal. He got the go about Giannis and him make. A couple days ago, I was talking about Giannis being the reason why we got Griffin.
Right.
Now Giannis is the reason why Griffin is gone. So
Right.
Giannis manned up and said, you
Right.
know what? I made a mistake. Like a true champion, I
Right.
made a mistake, and let's get him out of here. I'm trying to win. He ain't it. He ain't
He
it.
ain't
That's
it, and
all
that's
Giannis is
it.
about. He's about winning championships.
We gotta
That's all he
give
had to
the
do.
Bucks. We gotta
He
give
know.
the
He know.
Bucks credit for having enough courage to fire Adrian Griffin in the middle of the season too. That wasn't
Yeah,
easy to do.
most people would have stuck with him.
Right. Most people would have stuck with him. I
Yeah, we could have
agree.
sat here like the Cowboys. We could
Right,
sat
like
here
the
like the
Cowboys
Cowboys
doing,
pretending
yeah, and
we
just
still had. We was like, no, he gone. He ain't. He ain't it. Let's move on. And
right,
shout out to the Bucks for doing that because they taking some heat right now. But they don't care. Because
right,
when they host
exactly,
that trophy up at the end of the
You
year,
know,
right,
it ain't gonna
exactly.
matter. Cleveland did it.
That's what I'm saying. And they won a championship when
Go
they
ahead,
fired
Chitty.
Black and got what's my man Ty Lue. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So
And look at
Chitty,
Ty Lue now.
right?
That's
He the
perfect.
Clippers. He doing his thing. So Chitty, tell me how you feel, bro. Chitty, tell me how you feel.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
stuck there with that face,
So
bro.
I
Come
have
on,
mixed.
fam.
Yeah, can you hear me well?
Yeah. We go ahead. Go
Can
ahead,
you hear
cook,
me
Chitty.
well? Guys. All right. Greetings to everyone. I have mixed feelings about this decision. I have mixed feelings. First of
Okay.
all, when I heard it, it didn't sit well with me. Yeah. And then I thought through the process again, and I was like, you know what? Um, I think we were able to salvage the situation where we didn't know what the outcome would look like. And
Mm-hmm.
again, uncertainty is kind of like what brings about a lot of curiosity, but at the same time, it brings about a lot of fear of the
Mm-hmm.
unknown, because we don't know what we're going to expect during the playoffs, the end of the season. We don't even
Right.
know if we're going to make the playoffs, because if the first half of the season were at 30-13, but then again, what we are playing easy schedules from the
Mm-hmm.
beginning,
Right.
and we are going to the next half of the season. We're going to be with the tougher teams, the real contenders this time around. I think it's just more of the fear of the unknown, and I think it requires radical decisions like this to be made. Again, I was pointing out a lot of things about Griffin, which I thought everyone, most especially Stephen A. Smith, saw this coming, because
Mm-hmm.
guess what? He did not show any sign of confidence with the position that was given to him.
That's what I was saying.
He
He was
didn't show
acting like
any
an
sign
assistant, Chitty.
of full
Exactly,
confidence
Chitty.
and full charge.
Facts.
Yes, but the thing is, he made the job even more difficult for himself. He made the
Talk,
job more
Chitty.
difficult for himself. Why did I say so? You you have Terry Stotts with you, who has been an head coach for close to 10 a decade, 10 years, 10 seasons.
Talk.
So as your assistant, you would have actually done a lot with Terry Stotts. You you doing that, I don't know what, that's
That was some
madness in the
arrogance that
beginning of the
caught up
season,
to him. It was some
before
arrogance that
before
backfired.
the in front of the players. In fact, that was him signing already. That was him signing his resignation.
Right,
At
right,
that point,
right
that was
off
him
the
signing his
top, right
resignation
off the
because I
top.
don't know what he was
Mm-hmm.
thinking about. Yo, I do you know do you know what? Do you know what? A week after that incident happened, we were to play the Celtics, the Boston Celtics, and in front of, like, it was a national televised game, and in front of the whole world, you also did the same thing to Giannis on the
Yeah, that's true.
sideline.
Yelling at
Are
Giannis,
you?
yeah,
What's
in
wrong with
front of, yeah, yeah,
you?
yeah,
Who
yeah.
knows you? Where are you from?
Right.
Exactly. Your name your name is just Adrian Griffin. We don't know you, but we all know Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is actually the face of the NBA currently. Look at the All Star. Who
Mm-hmm.
has the highest votes? He's the only one that has 4+ million votes. Like, he's actually the face of the league, and you treated your superstar that way, like in front of the whole world. Like who are you? Like he just, like, every of his move was just him
Shout
getting
out to
fired.
you, Robert. No,
Then
I
then
agree.
the players
I just think I
were
think
not
this was
even
needed. I really think this was needed,
the
Chitty.
players.
It was needed. It was needed. So I'm gonna circle the block to you. Go
I
ahead, Daniel. Tell
I
me how you
wanted to.
feel, Daniel. And then we're gonna spin back to Pronte and then end with Chitty. And then I'm gonna tap some other people in. We got a lot of people in here. So I'm gonna go with you, Daniel. So tell me how you feel listening to what Chitty said.
I kind of agree with what he's saying. It feel like the wasn't responding at all to the coach. And I feel like that if, if you need to
Dan,
respect,
you breaking up a
you
little
need
bit, Daniel.
respect.
You breaking up a little bit.
Bring him a little bit.
Yeah, you breaking up a little bit.
You,
I can hear you, but it's just like you pixelated. Let's see. Yeah, go ahead. Let's just
yeah.
see. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I'm gonna say what I'm saying on top about. Like I said, I just think this team needs to do a better job. When whoever coach they get, they need to play better and listen to the coach better because this is the third. This is gonna be a third coach here. Just firing on Bud, and then they
Right.
fired Griffin. So this is the third coach. So they're gonna have to sit Giannis down. Look, man, this you can't keep firing coaches when you can't even like them.
Right.
This is it.
Right.
This is
Right.
it.
No, I feel you on that.
So
No,
I'm
I
gonna
feel you.
tap out.
That's a great point. That's a great point, Daniel. That's a great point. And then I'm gonna pass it to you. I'm gonna pass it to you, Pronte. Then you, Chitty. And then I'm gonna tap y'all in. That's in the green room. Go ahead, Pronte.
All right, I'm gonna tap
No, I
out,
agree with
guys. I'll
Okay.
be
Daniel. You
right
can't.
back.
This is the last coach. Whoever they get, this is whoever they get now.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
got to get the right one. They got to go with people boo-hooing on Doc. They boo-hooing on Doc, but because he blew 3-1 leads. And I heard you say that, but do you think Giannis is blowing a 3-1 lead? Giannis
I feel
Antetokounmpo
you
gonna
on
blow a
that.
3-1
That's
lead
a
in the
good
conference
point.
final?
No, that's a good point.
I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
That's a good point.
That's never gonna happen. So if he can get it to a 3-1 lead in the conference finals, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Everybody knows
That's
it's a
a
wrap.
fair
Giannis
point.
ain't going out like
It's
that.
a whole different
Giannis,
animal. Good point. No. That's a great point. That's a great point, Bronte.
Giannis and Dame ain't gonna play with that fool in the playoffs. Not if they can get up 3-1 on the
Right,
Celtics.
yeah, they
They
gonna
ain't
get
let
him
them
up out
come
of
back.
there. Yeah,
They're
they
not
gonna get
doing
him
that.
out of there. That's true. Those is two different
They're gonna
types
get
of
them up out of
animals
there.
right there. No, good
Those are
point.
two different. You talking about Chris Paul versus Giannis Antetokounmpo, the 3-1 lead. Those are not the same guys.
That's a
You
fact.
know.
That's a
So,
fact.
so if we got a coach that players can respect, they gonna listen to, and that's have plenty of playoff experience, that's a win.
That's a
Because
win. Yeah,
what we had was a coach that didn't have command of the X's and O's, didn't implement a scheme, players didn't respect, and they were
he didn't
still
have a
winning games.
resume for the players to respect to keep it real. Regardless of what you say
And they,
about Doc, you have to respect his resume.
you gotta respect his resume, and you're 30-13. If you got a real coach, you're probably gonna end the season with the number 1 seed,
I agree
right?
with that.
In a play.
I agree with that.
So
I agree with that.
if we get up a little defense, and I said yesterday, and I'm ending with this, you get a new coach and then you make a trade. So
Right, and
now it's
I
time
think
to
that's
make a
what's happening.
trade. Now it's time to make the trade to shore up the defense. Because now you got a coach. So once they get this coach that they know that can coach, a proven coach, and then they're going to get them a player that they know they need to fix the roster. And then you have a championship team moving forward. Well, I'm
Hey,
out. That's all I
Pronte,
got.
hey, you talking, bro? Hey, let's get them likes up, y'all. Y'all hear people in this chat spitting. They spitting right now. Let's get them likes up, y'all. Go ahead, Pronte. Then I'm gonna pass it to you, Chitty, and then spin the block and pass it to you, Jeff. But finish your statement, though, Pronte.
I mean, I'm out. That's all I need. That's all I got to
Okay.
say.
Yeah, tap back in a minute, bro. I just want to make sure I get everybody in here, bro. Salute. All right, Pronte.
Chitty.
All right.
I'm big on Giannis. But
Yeah,
it's more
Conte.
than Giannis, too. You know?
There you
All
go.
right, y'all.
All right, bro. All right. Let me tap in my man Brandon. All right. So oh, there you go. All right, Chitty, go ahead. So finish your statement, then we're gonna go to Jeff. Jeff, your petition worked. Well, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Chitty.
Yeah. So let me just point out a few things though. And so I heard that Griffin had some issues, family issues, losing his grandson and some other things.
Right.
I don't know how correct that is. But that was part of like things piling up. I think this was just the wrong timing for him.
Right.
One or the other. Then two, I like the idea of Doc Rivers because Doc kind of like has experience.
Right.
And when I mean experience, I mean from the perspective of a veteran coach
Correct.
who
Yep.
already has made his mistakes in the past and he knows what would not really work in the NBA correctly, especially a team who is vying for a position like this for championship, during the off season. I think
Facts.
Doc will be a start. And we all know that there's no coach who coaches Giannis and you don't get it done, that you ever get any other job in the NBA because I don't know what else you're looking for again. You understand? Like I think Giannis is not the final boss. If you can't get it done with Giannis, like forget about it. And
I do
so
agree with y'all there. That's a good point. What you and Pronte was saying that the personnel that are on the Bucks would not lose. They're not losing no 3-1 lead. You know what I mean? We got
nah,
different
they are
types of
not.
player. We're not losing no 3-1 lead. Like that was a
They are
great
not.
point.
They are not.
That makes me
Yeah,
feel a little
and
bit
then
better thinking about getting Doc actually.
yes, and then thirdly, I think this is a wake up call for the rest of the players in the box team because the rest of the players on this box team, if they don't get their acts right now, currently with this current news that they just heard right now
They
of,
gonna get
of
traded.
firing the degree, I'm telling you, and actually would not be real problem. Bobby Portis, are you listening? Pat Connaughton, are you listening?
Oh,
Brook Lopez,
talk.
are you listening?
Chitty
If you don't
is in
wake
his
up, Chris
bag.
Middleton,
Let's
if you
go,
don't wake up,
Chitty.
you're getting traded out of this team. Like it's what it is. Like they've done like this time around. I think the front office currently are on top of their game right now because after trading for Damian Lillard, once one problem solved, part of the problem solved, then they fired Bud,
Right.
another problem solved. Then they traded Drew Holiday,
Mm-hmm.
one another problem solved. This time around, they're actually looking towards the players because if Doc Rivers is in this team, you can't be telling us that coaching is the problem again, right?
Right.
Now they're looking into the players. Now, the personnel we have, are they really what we want to win a championship? And if they
And
don't
I
get their
think that's
acts
the next
together,
step, though,
they are
Chitty. Just
losing
to
their
piggyback
jobs.
off of what you're saying, Chitty, and that makes sense
Yes.
because, like we were, everything we be saying on this podcast be coming to fruition verbatim. I be hearing these analysts saying word for word what we said 2-3 weeks ago on this podcast. I'm not even jacking.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, when I tell y'all this is the best Bucks podcast and the most intelligent chat on YouTube, I'm dead serious. I heard Kendrick Perkins say stuff we done said on here verbatim, word for word. I heard him saying stuff on
Yeah.
here. We tell it, hey, if you a Bucks fan and you for real, this is where you need to be. We making things happen over here, regardless of what people think. We making things shake over here. Were we not saying all of this stuff weeks ago, Chitty? We've been saying this stuff for weeks.
We were.
For
We were.
weeks.
We
For
were.
weeks. For
We were.
weeks. For weeks. But let me let
We,
my man Jeff tap
but
in 1 second, Chitty. 1 second, Chitty. Go
All right,
ahead, Jeff. Let me let you
all right.
tap in, Jeff, and then I'm gonna have Brandon tap in. Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, I told y'all this was gonna happen. I told y'all
Hey,
this was
you
gonna
did.
happen.
You did. I gotta give
You're
everybody
right.
their
You're
flowers that
correct.
was standing on it. You were standing on it, Jeff.
Yeah.
You get your flowers. You were standing
And
on it. You were adamant,
from the
actually.
time
I'm
I
not
heard
going
it,
to even say standing on it. You were adamant about this man
yep.
being fired. Jeff
From the
was
time
like,
I
Yeah.
I'm
heard
going to go
about it
stand
today,
in front of Fiserv Forum and pick it.
from
Go
the
ahead,
from the
Jeff.
time
Tell
I
me how
heard
you
about it
feel.
today, from the time I heard about it today, I was on watching, keeping an eye on everything, and from what I heard, that from day one, when Terry Stotts quit, they were watching him.
Okay.
Mm,
They were watching him,
mm,
and then
mm.
when Bobby Portis had went off on him and on the team, that was strike two that they were watching. Then they started having Horst and some of the upper management keep an eye on the practice. And things were not looking good in the
They didn't
practice.
practice. But I heard also that he wasn't getting along with some of the players. They didn't mention players' names, but I heard he
He
wasn't.
the,
He
the
didn't have the
team
best
the
rapport with the
team quit
players either.
the team the team quit on him.
Yeah, that's what we've been saying. You could tell that a while
Bobby
ago.
Portis Bobby Portis is head of the bench
Facts.
of the reserve, and he was speaking up for the bench. Also, Chris Middleton was not happy about everything. They
I didn't hear about Mitty.
Yeah, Middleton, he wasn't happy about anything. Giannis, when he spoke up, that really set the
That's what I was
ball
saying. That was the
rolling.
straw that broke the camel's back. Is when Giannis said something in that press conference. That's what I told you. I was like, oh nah, that he
But you
gotta
could
go.
tell,
Giannis don't even. That's not even a Giannis's
you could
character to call out people. He's never called out a coach
but
or a teammate before.
you
Never.
could exactly, but you could tell that the bench was not playing for him because of how they performed.
That's a
If
good
they
point
if
too. Maybe
they
that's
if
really what
they
it. Maybe they really did quit on him. That's why we were seeing the performances that
they
we were
did
seeing out the bench.
they
I mean, we
did
have multiple games. Even Chitty was mentioning, Brandon was mentioning. We have like 20 points from the whole bench. How can you have 20 points
right.
from the whole bench like that?
They could have done a whole lot better if they was coached.
Yeah,
They didn't want to play for him.
I really think that's what it is. And like I was saying, I don't want nobody to lose their job. And I'm not with. I understand that. It was just like
It's a
the
business.
product that we were seeing was inferior to what we should be seeing with the caliber of players that we have. And we didn't just fire you in 10 games, 15 games. We gave you half of a season to try to fight for your job, and you couldn't do it.
Yep.
That's just really what
And
we saw. No difference between game 1 and game 43. It was the same Bucks. No difference.
it was these games that they won. It was Giannis, Dame, and
Chris and them
Middleton,
going off.
and
Yeah, just going off. That's
they're the
it.
ones that won the game by on their own. It wasn't the coaching. And
I
Horst
agree with you,
saw that.
Jeff. I agree with you. Now, my
Horst
man
saw it.
Brandon, tell me how you feel.
Hey, I already know from 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 the beginning we hired Coach Griffin. I already know it's not it.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. We just got a super chat with some information. Hold on 1 second, Brandon. My man Saul Callie said, appreciate the $4.99 super chat. Doc was just hired officially. Wow.
Oh wow,
Oh, hey, chat. Wow, we just got Doc
wow.
officially. Damn, that was quick. Wow,
They just
chat.
hired
I,
Doc.
Wow,
I,
it's
I, I love
official.
this. I love this. I love this.
I think this is
I
better for
love
us,
this news.
y'all. I think this is better for us, y'all. I really do.
Yeah,
I
I
really do.
love
But go
this
ahead,
news.
Brandon. Get your comment on, sir.
I like I said, I remember when I said was from beginning of the season
Right. Mm-hmm.
because you play And
It was just too many telltale signs, Brandon. This wasn't gonna work right. You started slow. You could see the momentum going against Griffin
like
early in the season.
like
The blowouts,
mm,
the team saying that there's no cohesion, and then they even try to make excuses for dude. Remember, oh, we haven't had a chance to really practice. We haven't really had a chance to sit down and look. You remember that they was trying to back Griffin at the beginning. Let's not forget this team didn't just quit on him right away. They were like, oh, you know what?
mm,
We need to get some more practice. Maybe when we get this home stand, we'll fix this, we'll fix that. The team gave him
mm,
chances. He let the team down.
mm,
Let's not act like the players let him down. They were defending this man at
mm,
the beginning until they saw that he wasn't him. That
mm,
do you remember all the positive comments Giannis was saying during the summertime? Him going to grit, all this
mm,
stuff. He built up all this positive mojo and respect from the team, and he threw it away in the first month of the season. He threw it away in
mm.
the first month of the season.
Actually, Yanis signed his extension
Mm,
because he believed in this Griffin guy. Like normally, a rookie coach who is just being the first time head coach, Yanis would not have signed that extension deal. He signed it so that the team would not be bothered about him holding the team back. So
right.
I don't understand what Griffin was actually just thinking. What I saw from Griffin, the vibes I got from Griffin was he was just admiring the fact that he was coaching superstars, and
That's
then he
it.
was just power enthusiastic
Finally,
or
you see
power
it to the
drunk
light,
Yep.
to
Chitty.
the point where he was usurping that power upon players that are that are respected worldwide.
But
Like
let's
players like
even go
Giannis,
back a minute,
what he
Chitty.
did
Let's even go
was
back. Let's go back. The abuse of power
yes,
started with Terry Stotts. Let's start there. That's where we saw that.
exactly.
How do you rub an assistant coach that has way more tenure than you the wrong way that fast? That fast.
I
That was the
heard,
initial red
I
flag
heard,
that we just weren't paying attention to.
I heard Amara. I heard that Terry Stotts is well respected around the league. I heard that Terry Stotts is well
That's true.
respected by coaches and
That's
players
true.
across the league.
Right, that's a
So,
fact.
That's
it,
true.
it, so
Fact.
nah, he fumbled his job. He
Yeah, he
fumbled.
fumbled the
How
bag.
do
He
you wait for
fumbled the
10 years
bag.
to be?
No, no, just you don't gotta
Nah,
sugarcoat it. You don't gotta
that's not fumbling
sugarcoat it,
that bad,
Chitty.
man.
Say what it is. He
How
fumbled the bag.
how how do you wait for 10 years? So you've been prepping all the while from Toronto Raptors and other places for 10 years for an opportunity like this, and you got it another 3 months. You fumbled it by just being, oh my god, not being wise and smart. Like
Man,
nah,
hey,
nah,
y'all, we gotta get them likes up. My man Chitty is in his bag. This is
no,
classic
no.
Chitty. If you never joined the podcast, this is classic Chitty right here. This is my
No.
man when he's in his zone. He going Super Saiyan right
You,
now. Cook a little bit,
you,
Chitty.
you
I'm
see,
gonna tap y'all in
you
the
see,
green room
Amara,
in a minute. But my boy in his bag. Go
Amara,
ahead, Chitty.
Amara, Amara, you see something, right? The truth is, I don't believe that we trading through holiday made our defense get worse like what it is currently.
That's all I'm
What
saying.
I think,
Thank you. Thank
what
you.
I
That's
think,
all I'm saying.
because before Drew came into Milwaukee Bucks, our defense was top notch. Look at what we played in the 2019
But that's
playoffs.
what we've been
Top
saying,
notch.
Chitty. It was scheming
It
too.
was just offensive and missing.
It's scheme.
Just
I'm not
offense.
saying
So
Chitty. I'm
Drew
with you,
was
and I'm
since.
not saying Dame is no defensive stopper. He's not great defensively, but there's no way that even with him being that bad, you can't scheme something to
Mm,
make our defense respectable. I'm not saying that we should have a
yes,
top 10 defense, but we should at least have a top 15 defense, even
yes,
with Dame.
yes,
That's unacceptable.
yes.
We've been bottom
The
feeders on
players,
defense all year. Everybody score 130 on the Bucks. Everybody.
yes. The players weren't on his scheme. The players didn't want to play for him. He didn't know how to. What it simply means is he didn't know how to keep his house tight.
I'll
If
say
he knew
that,
how
but
to keep
I
his
also
house
say he
tight,
didn't know how to talk to the players correctly to get them to buy in. It's all about communication to get players to buy into a system
communication,
or their role.
correct,
I don't think he understood the
correct.
correct way to communicate as a coach with your players. It seemed like he was more on a friend level with the players instead of a hierarchy like I'm your leader, You know what I'm saying? Y'all my direct reports. You know what I'm saying? It seemed
Yeah,
like they were more on
yeah,
the same level. There was no hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? I think that was a huge
yeah. But it
part.
was not. Yeah, but it wasn't even a friend. It wasn't even a friend. It wasn't even a friend. There are ways you could be friends with a coach. Friendly relationship. He wasn't a friend with these players at all. Like Griffin gave me the vibes of someone who would compare his time with the current players right now. You know what that actually does when comparison comes into the picture? It means we brought you in here to coach us to a championship. We didn't bring you in here to come and be comparing us your time with our time. He wasn't. There were
Are
a lot
y'all,
of things that
dude? This
Griffin
is
didn't get right
classic
as a
Chitty
as a
right
as a
here.
coach. Look
Please
at
get the
Ime
likes
Udoka.
up, ladies
Ime
and
Udoka
gentlemen.
was
We
also
should be
a
at
player's coach.
75 likes by now, Bucks Nation. Let's go. Let's go,
Hey,
Bucks Nation. Hit the
Ime,
like. Go
Ime
ahead, Chitty,
Udoka
cook it.
Ime Udoka was also a player's coach, but you never hear Ime Udoka come on the presser to tell you that, during our time. Look at the game Giannis against Bayama, the
Mhm.
Spurs game. He was saying that, oh yeah, during his own time too, he had one tall player like that from the Asian player who he played against also. Like, bro, you are averaging 4 points per game. What are you talking about? Giannis averaging 30 points per game. How how do you come to a presser and say all these kind of things? He lost
Oh, one
he
second,
lost
Chitty.
the reason why
Hey,
he
1
was.
second, Chitty. Hey, yo, I don't know if you can see, but you pointing at the ceiling, man. You good? All right, there
okay,
you go. All right, go
right.
ahead, Chitty.
Yeah, yeah. Griffin lost the reason why they employed him as the head coach. He lost everything. If he was even friendly with the players would want to put in their best because they will want to cover those weaknesses. And I think even the assistant coaches he had really did not like him because if he was truly a great friendly coach like that, these guys
Appreciate you,
will rally
Amara.
around him and not make him fail outside in the public. He wasn't that guy. What he just did was come into a place, a house that was well arranged, and I think he actually just scattered it. But for the fact that it was arranged like that, they didn't let him just scatter the house, and it was a good decision to just let him go
Yeah, it was
at
a
this
big
time.
enough. Dude,
It was a
Chitty,
great
40,
decision.
43 games was enough to know who you are. It was enough. If you
Yes,
dating a female, you
yes,
don't need a whole year to know if you're supposed to be with her. You gonna know in the first few months if you're
yes,
supposed to be with her or not. You gonna notice the bad habits and all of that. Then you gonna cut your losses. That's what happened. That's what happened. You
yes.
tried.
Because
You tried to see if
because
you
if
could work through it.
Griffin
You couldn't. It's over. It's
Yes,
over.
because if Griffin stayed till the end of this season, I think them would request for a trade, and Giannis will request for a trade. I
Yeah,
think
I
we'll
agree with
lose the
that.
two
I'm gonna let you
superstars.
go ahead, Jeff, and then I'm gonna let Ayo tap in here. Go ahead, Jeff. How you feel about what my man Chitty cooking today? He should have an apron on.
It's about
But go
I'm
ahead,
bad.
Jeff.
Shitty finally seen the light.
Bro, thank you. My man Chitty is on the board
Shitty
now. He is
finally
on
seen the light.
board. Shout out to Chitty. He is on board now. Yes. Yes,
Mhm.
Chitty
But
is
the
completely
players,
on board.
but now I believe Doc Rivers, he's a coach for older players. A
That's a
coach,
great point. That's a great point.
he's a coach for the older players, and he will get them playing. And if they don't want to play, he's going to get them out of there.
Exactly.
No, that's a
He's
good
going to get
point.
them out of there.
But the best point that you
I'm
just
not.
brought
I'm
up,
not
Jeff.
sold on Doc.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
not
agree
sold
with you.
on
But
Doc,
what you said
but
about him dealing with older players, that's what made him successful in Boston. They had an older team that they
yep,
won a championship with.
exactly,
And he
Yes.
exactly.
understands the mentality of older players and how you play older players, minutes wise, everything that happens with older players. I think that was a great point.
Mhm.
I think he's going to be a players
Mhm.
coach, but also a coach of the players' respect. He
Yep,
got
and
his
he's not
jersey
going
in
to
the
take no
raft.
mess.
Let's not forget, y'all. He has his jersey is in five-star form in the rafters.
Yep,
Glenn Doc
Correct.
Rivers
he's not going to take.
jersey is in
Correct.
the
He's not going to take no
rafters.
mess.
I'm
Correct.
He's
telling
not going to
y'all.
take no mess.
He got respect. They look up there they look at the top of five-star form. They see they coach jersey.
Mhm.
That's a different type of respect.
Mhm.
I'm telling
Yep,
y'all.
Yeah.
That's a different type
Yeah.
of
and
respect.
he's not going to take no mess from no
Hey,
no player.
we made the right decision.
I
We made
agree.
the right decision
They made the
currently.
right decision. And like
I
I
I
said,
I love this move.
Right. And like I
I
said,
love
I don't
this
want
move.
nobody to lose their job. But when you're not performing and people have been trying to get you to perform, providing you with everything that you should need to perform, and you fail, you gotta go. This has nothing to do with no tribalism or nothing like that. This is just, if you watch the
Nah,
Bucks as much as we watch the Bucks, you will see that he's not giving us anything. He gave us nothing. There was no benefit to him being on the sideline. That's why he's gone. He brought no value to this team. Zero. But I'm gonna let you tap in
In
for a
the
minute.
chat,
Hey, yo, tell me how you feeling, bro.
Okay. If you can remember, like the last time, like when I joined
Mm-hmm. The
this
live. Yep.
broadcast, when they lost, I told you like Griffin, like he doesn't know what he's doing. He just assuming stuff. For me, like I don't know about Doc Rivers. Like I understand, like everybody want Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers like have a lot of experience. For me, I don't know, like if they can still bring Bud back. I'm just saying.
No, no, no. Ayo,
Wait,
they
wait,
gonna
wait,
get
wait,
you.
wait, wait,
Hey,
wait, wait,
Ayo, they about
wait,
to get you in the
wait,
chat, bro. They
wait,
about to get you in the
no
wait,
chat,
way.
bro.
wait,
Oh,
wait.
Ayo, hey, I
Listen,
can't help you,
wait,
bro. Ayo, I can't help you. I can't help you,
wait.
bro.
Okay, fine. Let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you.
All right, okay.
In 2021, when Bucks won,
All right.
right? You know we have a good shooter, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
is Brian Fox. That's where we're able to win. And we also have PJ Tucker, which we're able to win. There are three things when it comes to defense: rebound. You have somebody that has to play your game, and you have somebody that has to block. One of the things why Bog is so good, when you listen to every other people, like when you watch athletic, like I love to watch basketball. Like I don't miss any games
All
when it
right.
comes to basketball. And I listen to most of all those broadcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Ball designed a system. When you look at when we lost in
But
during
that,
the
but hey, yo, that's our
when
point, though. Hey, yo, that's our point.
what,
Griffin never had a system. That's
that's
why Griffin
it.
is gone. He never
What
had. You just
what
made the
what
point.
I'm saying, see what I'm saying.
Mm.
Doc doesn't have a system as well. He doesn't have a scheme. He doesn't
Mm,
have a scheme. Let me tell you something. If you watch
okay.
that game, wait, if you watch Ball, the way Ball coach, it's very simple. The best 3-point shooter, Chris Middleton, is gonna face him. The best person that is going on corner
Three, corner
three,
three.
corner three, that will be Giannis Ball. So if that person miss, Giannis can easily run back to rebound.
Uh,
It's very simple.
okay, so that's fair. That's a fair point. But tell me why you don't like Doc Rivers. That's what I'm interested in.
Okay, like when you watch TNT, like at the beginning when they're about to start Pacers and Nuggets, right? They has many. They are talking about things. See, they brought Doc Rivers to advise Griffin
Mm-hmm. Correct.
a couple of
Correct.
weeks ago, and since they brought in Doc Rivers, the whole system changed. Everybody's system. When you look at Giannis, the moment they brought Doc Rivers, like let me say like a month ago, you look at Giannis. Giannis always shake his head. See, Giannis like I'm a Nigerian. When you have a Nigerian background, it's very easy when you find yourself in some kind of environment. Very easy, like people to change your mind. They're just gonna tell you some certain things that you started believing in. That's the same thing that happened to Yanni that made him to believe that Griffin can coach. The moment you brought in Doc River can easily convince Yannis as well. When you look at the game 5 that Bucks lost to East, if Jay Holiday make his second free throw, will have win that game, and that game will have been to 6 games and would have win it as well. But because Bud only coach one superstar and he wants a championship, one superstar, one.
That's
Now
a
you are
valid
giving
point. That's a valid point.
one. You are
I'm
giving
just
him
gonna tell
now.
you, Ayo, I get where you coming from, but they gonna come for you in the chat, bro. But I get where you coming from, but they gonna come for you, bro.
Actually, Amara, I wanted to say this to you. Ayo, if you know what we went through under board, I don't think any real boxman will want Bud back. Let me tell you why. Bud was a
See,
systemic kind of coach. Bud was a systemic kind of coach, right? Ayo, who do not want to make changes. He's very stubborn.
no,
Right.
no,
Even
no, no.
if
Wait,
his
wait, wait.
system is
No,
failing and
people
he's
keep saying
losing,
this.
he
Listen,
would not make changes, even when he knows
listen,
those changes will make
People
the
keep saying
great
this.
positive impact to win
That's a
games.
good point. Hold on
Do
one
you,
second,
do
Chitty.
you,
Go
Wait,
ahead, Ayo.
wait, wait,
We
wait,
got the
yeah,
wait.
Nigerian debate
People
right
keep
here. Go ahead.
wait,
Go
wait, wait.
ahead.
People keep saying this like, oh, Bud doesn't make changes. Bud doesn't make changes. Last year, like before they fire Bud, right? When you watch Bucks versus Clippers, right? They change, they go big, Bud go small. That's why they're able to win and making Giannis to play five. When they go to Clippers again, that's why Ty Lue said it like Bud is one of the best coach that he make every adjustment. People only complain. The only let me wait.
Okay, go
Listen,
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
listen. Giannis is just like a big baby. If things doesn't go his way, he doesn't play well. Giannis want to like defend Jimmy Butler. Bud is only preventing Giannis not to have fouls. Because the moment you are giving your best player to have fouls, it's gonna go out. Bud doesn't have any other option. Jeru doesn't make
I'm
more
gonna tell
shots.
you, Ayo, you done caught me
hey
off
yo,
guard with this statement. This
hey
I was
yo,
not
hey
expecting this
yo,
from you at all.
Well,
hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, let me tell you this, right? Bud,
mm-hmm.
Bud was never, Bud was never a great coach. Let me tell you why, right? When Bud came in his first year, right, we wanted to fire Bud. Do you know why?
Shout out to you,
Bud
John
coached the
Vandy.
Atlanta Hawks and he was
Salute to
fired.
London.
He was fired because he was that bad, right? We
Bud
employed
doesn't
him
have a
because we wanted to
superstar in
see if he would
Atlanta.
change. Yeah, but
Bud
let me
doesn't
tell
have
you,
a
let me tell you what.
superstar
Let me,
in
Hey,
hey
hold on,
Atlanta.
yo,
hey y'all,
hey yo, let me,
hey y'all. We gonna bring
hey
this
yo, let me
back.
tell you,
Hey, Chitty, we gonna bring this back. I
let
need
me
to get
tell
into the
you.
comment. I want to get into the comment section for a minute. Y'all give me like 15 minutes and tap back in. I want y'all two to tap back in, especially Chitty and Ayo, because y'all is on two opposite sides of the spectrum. Just to, yeah, look at Chitty, he ready. Look at it. All right, y'all. Let me just
No
get in the
way, no
comment
way,
section
we're
for a
going back
minute.
to our vomits like Bud.
All right, all
No,
right,
no,
Ayo,
no,
y'all
nah.
tap back in. Just give me a few minutes to get in the chat, y'all. All right.
All right,
Salute, salute,
all right.
salute. My man Ayo, my man Chitty. Oh, I wasn't expecting that from Ayo. He came in as a true a true Bud apologist. Shout out to him. Let's get to these comments. John Jackson said, my issue is that Griffin shouldn't have been hired in the first place. That's valid. Let's get the likes up, Bucks Nation. We should be close to 80 likes by now, y'all. I promise it's not coming out your check 401k or a Roth IRA or EFT accounts or ETF accounts. I promise. It's just going to help more true Bucks fans find the content and be able to participate just like all of y'all. So salute the Bucks Nation. Let's get them likes up. Joshua said, I'll tell you this, Doc is way better than Griffin. Yeah, that's a fact. That's not even a debate. That's a fact. Newsom said Obama wasn't even in office yet the last time the Celtics won a title. That's hilarious, bro. Oh, shout out to Newsom. Shout out to Newsom. Let me get this super chat. Salute. My man AB. Shout out to AB. What up, AB? I holler at you in a minute. Salute, salute. Appreciate the 199 super chat. Hope Doc take y'all to the promised land. Salute. Appreciate that, AB. Always participating in the chat. Salute to you. I see y'all. I see the queens in the chat. Patricia, Stacy, Brenda. I see all y'all. Janet, MOC, Eliza, Pam. The whole crew in here. Cynthia. What up? Let me get to some of these comments. I see you, Marvin. This this needed to happen, y'all. I know that it sounds crazy, but this needed to happen, y'all. I promise y'all this needed to happen. It was no other way for the Bucks to move forward without getting rid of Griffin. Griffin lost the team, y'all. Let's keep it real. Let's just keep it real. Griffin lost the team. Zane, what's good? Are you pulling strings behind the scenes, Amara? Meaning, what if the Bucks organization looks at your video? Oh, we already know they look at the videos. I already know they look at the videos. Everything that we end up talking about on this podcast comes to fruition verbatim. What we've been saying weeks ago, maybe a month ago, now if they're starting to say it. Yeah, they watching the videos. Absolutely. Look at the audience. Look at the intelligence in the chat. Look at the people bringing receipts. Look at the commentary. You find me another Bucks podcast that's giving you this energy, giving you this information, allowing you to participate like this. Where? How? Let's go, Bucks Nation. Let's get them lights up. This is for y'all. Let's go. What up, Eliza? Eliza said Chidia goes like that, so they fired Bub, but it was more than the playoff exit. It was the fact that the players were calling him out. When a coach loses the players, it's done before it starts. Thank you, Eliza. And that's what happened with Griffin. He lost the players. He lost them. Just because we were winning doesn't mean the locker room was in sync. He lost those players, and you could see it on the screen. Even like, okay, I was fortunate enough. I got season tickets. Y'all all know that. And I've been fortunate enough a couple games to get floor seats, right? And even when you're watching them on the floor seats, they're not communicating with the coach at all. They're not even really talking to the coaches, period. They're talking amongst themselves. You could clearly see a separation between coaching staff and players. I don't know if y'all like, again, when you at the game is different. How you watching the game. When you down there, you can see everything. You watching the sideline, you watching the whole thing, and you never saw any continuity between the players and the coaching staff. You could see it. Like I was telling y'all thought I was wilding out. I said, yo, this team is winning because we're ultra talented. We got some savage killers on this team. Dame and Giannis are no joke. That's why we winning. And Chris Middleton, when he can play, he be giving work. That's why we winning. We dropping damn near 130 a game. You gonna win games. But the problem is we giving up 128 points a game. That's the problem. And you're not gonna come in here and be the coach of the team and tell us you some type of defensive wizard, you some type of defensive Doogie Howser, and then that's all lies. We find out that everything you said was fraud. And you don't know how to communicate with the players. We should have canned you as soon as Terry Stotts left. We should have known what was up. We tried to give you a pass. How many passes did we give AG? People was wanting him gone like the first. No, let's give him 30 games. No, let's give him half a season. We there now. He gone. Let's see what Doc can do. But at the minimum. So check this out, Bucks Nation. Y'all want to say Doc had these 3-1 losses? That's all true. But at the end of the day, Doc is still better than Adrian Griffin. The Bucks were winning without a coach. We are 30-13 without a coach. So what? The only thing that Doc can do is help this team. He can only be a positive. It's only a positive. So salute to Doc Rivers, and you coming back home where your jersey and the Raptors make us proud and put a banner up there. Don't mess around. Y'all see management ain't playing. We doing things that don't even happen in the NBA like that. The last time I believe somebody got fired in the middle of the season, was it Black? It might have been somebody else when Nate McMillan took over for somebody too. But you don't even see that. It's unheard of. So for the Bucks to be bold enough to take this step and assure Bucks Nation, like, hey, we serious. We really want to win. And how we gonna show y'all? We gonna get rid of what we think is the problem. And they did that. And now I expect player movement as well, because we are at a deficiency defensively, but we're at a surplus offensively. So I do expect some players to move around. And the players I expect is probably Beauchamp, Pat Connaughton, and it's possible Bobby Portis, but I don't think so, because what I heard was, this is all speculation, so I'm going to say allegedly, that Adrian Griffin wanted to trade Bobby Portis, and the team revolted against him for wanting to trade Bobby Portis. I think that was the beginning. That was really what sealed his fate, because that's very plausible, because with how Bobby Portis has been performing and the things he's mentioned and said, I would think that was true. I would think that was true. I just think that Griffin handled his first job really poorly, and I hope he'll grow from it. It happened to Bill Belichick when he was a coach for the Browns. He didn't know what he was doing. He understood the X and O's, but he didn't understand how to interact with players. Then when he got a second job with New England, he became a stud. That possibly might happen with Adrian Griffin, and I hope him the best, and I hope he takes time to really understand what happened and what caused him to get fired, and not blame anybody else but himself. Because the only life you can save, Adrian Griffin, is your own, sir, and you did not do that. Mr. 414 was good. When Bobby interrupted the coach mid-sentence and came out and said we got to get more organized, that was a many red flags with Griff. Facts, Mr. 414. It was so many that we were kind of blinded by the winning, and also that he was a first-year coach. But if we was really taking off our blinders, we saw multiple red flags for Griffin. And then I think we all started getting on one accord around game 15 to 20, somewhere in there. We were like, nah, this ain't it. And even with that, we said, hey, let's give him some more time. Let's give him some more. It took Spoelstra some time. It took Popovich some time. But we saw no growth. No growth. Absolutely ridiculous. Jean-Luc Gonzalez said, bring back Terry. I don't think he's going to come back, fam. Last Ghostwriter said, Griffin is gone, so our issue should be fixed with the new head coach, right? They'll get better. I know you're being sarcastic, Last Ghostwriter, but I guarantee they'll be better. We didn't have a coach. How can it not be better than not have? How can a coach that actually has some respect be better than not having a coach? Griffin brought nothing to the table. It was a potluck, and he came empty-handed. Everybody else bringing food. He came empty-handed. That's all it was. Salute to that man. Let me get to the super chat real quick. Got the super chat. Oh, shout out to Stacy for the super chat. Let me get to your super chat, Stacy. Appreciate you. Let me make sure these comments coming in fast. What up, Stacy? Shout out to the queens of the chat. Appreciate the $10 super chat. Salute. And my guy, Mr. Smith, and the other kings need that link. 100. Got you. Let me put that in the chat. Appreciate you, Stacy. Let me get back in here and get to some of the comments. Link in the chat. What up, Cynthia? Jimmy Roller, I see you. RJ back. Shout out to the UK. Oh, my man Gibson. Let me get through a couple comments. The people been waiting on you, Gibson. The people have been waiting on my man Gibson. Oh, the people have been waiting. Gibson. Nicholas. Hey, this man got the dark light on. Hey, he came in here like the Sith Lord with the dark light, the hat on. Shout out to Gibson Nicholas.
Peace and love. Peace
Get
and
the
love.
likes up. Get the likes up, y'all. Get the likes up. We got the man. Do we? Oh, we got Mr. Smith with the do-rag. Oh, we ready. We ready. Hold on. Mr. Smith, what's good?
We came fired up.
Right. Hey, but first, before we get started, Mr. Smith, you know the routine. Gibson, let's go.
Peace and love to Bucks Nation. Peace and love. This is a new day for the city of Wisconsin. A new day. It's a new day.
Hey, Mr. Smith, you wasn't in here yesterday. My man was distraught, hopping on and off the line, being upset, bro.
Was that the nail in the coffin? Like,
yeah. He said he's gonna pray that they fire him today. Yesterday is what Gibson said, and he got him up out of here. Gibson got him up out of here, Mr. Smith.
They said we don't need the most positive influence we have in Bucks Nation's now hype at our coach. If that's it, then we've lost everyone. You know,
we've lost everyone. Right.
Eject.
Right. I'm gonna let you say your piece, Gibson. Then, Mr. Smith, please take your time and spit.
Yes,
Let me pop in B Shack. I just B Shack in here. Let me pop in B Shack.
I feel great. Salute to B Shack. Salute to Mr. Smith. I feel relief. I feel happy. It's a new day for the city. I am glad he's out of there. I couldn't be in more. I don't hate on people that lose their job, right? But I am glad management listened to my cry last night. They heard me. They heard my cry, and they answered that call. Thank you, John Horst. You're the best GM the Bucks have ever had. You did a good job by getting that idiot out of there. Gee, what a relief.
He did it to himself, though. Let's not act like he didn't do it to himself. We gave you 43 games and tried to get
Yep.
you Doc as your like the kind of your mentor, and you fumbled the bag. Like my man Chitty said, he fumbled the bag. That it's just what it is. But let me let go ahead, Mr. Smith. B-Shack had to step away. Go ahead, Mr. Smith. Give us the breakdown.
Well, I would say real quick before I do that, right? First off, God bless to everyone in the chat.
Right.
Love
Salute,
to
salute.
Amara. Obviously, this is your platform. It's growing. It's growing.
Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure to jump on. I have not been able to watch the last couple of days. Had studying and
Right. It's
whatnot
all
to do
good.
at home. But
Salute, King Keith.
I gather in the Detroit Pistons games, while we won, we did not look exceptional. Is that
Correct.
am I
Correct.
getting that correct?
Correct.
I saw Damian Lillard in one of the games had good numbers, but we didn't look especially impressive. Is that what happened, or did we play down and did Detroit play up? Because I saw the score lines.
Detroit has been playing better against quality teams. They took the Celtics to overtime. They only lost by 7 against the Timberwolves. They tend to play better against better competition. But we made it easy. Like they were just diving into the lane, shooting floaters. Like we made it easy for them. Isaiah Stewart was snapping.
So again, right? More of the same thing.
Marcus Sasha was dragging in the cup.
Yeah.
So here's what I would think, right? I would love to be a fly on the wall when these conversations in the very beginning happened, right? When Griffin was hired in the first place, right? What was that interview?
Mm-hmm.
How did that look? You know what I mean? Did you have pie charts up on the wall? Did you outline your 5-year plan for the team? Did you have statisticians in there, or were you fully in grasp of the stats? Were you saying, well, according to cleaning the glass or whatever stats machine or stats gathering database that you use, this is where the NBA is trending, right? You know what I mean?
1 second, Mr. Smith. Sorry to interject here. Let me just get this super chat off. What up, Curtis? Appreciate the $5 super chat. It's not the coach, it's the players, and Doc don't play young players. Okay, we gonna see. I appreciate the comment, bro. Salute to you, Curtis. And we got one more here. Hold on. We got my man Green Ranger. Appreciate the $4.99 super chat. Doc Rivers likes his point guards to control the offense. I told you guys eventually Dame was going to be running the show on offense for the best. Salute to you, Green Ranger, and that makes sense. That makes sense. Appreciate you, Patricia P. Said hit that like button. Y'all hear the queens of the chat talking. Let's get them likes up, y'all. Salute. All right, go ahead, Mr. Smith. Go ahead and cook, sir. Then we go have B-Shack cook.
I'm just saying, building off that previous point, right? When they when he was saying what Doc likes to do. What did Griffin tell John Boss that he likes to do? What was it that got Griffin across the finish line? Was it just the Giannis endorsement?
Yeah, that was Giannis endorsement, correct.
But so we know that was involved, but how much of that factored into the final decision? Was it just on the strength of that? Because if it's just on the strength of that, then John Horst needs to be examined, right? You know what I mean? Where it's just on the word of a coach or one of your players, and there was no kind of discussion about what the NBA is trending towards, and do you have the tools to be able to compete with the current trends in the NBA? And if not, this is how soon we can get it. And what kind of defense are you planning to run? Do you see the average age of your starting lineup? What's your proposed lineup? Like, what is your plan, right? The business of basketball. What did you do and say to get across the finish line? Is my question, because these are the same questions that I would be asking Coach Rivers now, right? You are even further behind the ball. And I'm cautiously optimistic.
I want y'all to see this. Just one quick second, Mr. Smith. Pam said Giannis reportedly changed play calls and refused to sub out of games during certain points per at Kevin O'Connor in the NBA.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw
didn't respect
that.
it.
So he was doing the Aaron Rodgers routine. So he was doing the Aaron Rodgers routine. Like, I'm just going to call audibles at the line of scrimmage, and I don't really care. So at this point, here's what I think happens now, right? I think Doc Rivers is head and shoulders better than Griffin.
Fact.
I'm hoping Rivers is good enough to get back in the mix, because now you see a little bit of a redemption story for him, right? Keep in mind, Doc Rivers has not, since the Celtics, gotten past the second round of the
Correct.
playoffs. Who you gave him, right? Blake Griffin, Chris Paul,
Paul, yeah.
Joel
Jamal
Embiid,
Crawford.
everybody, right? And you still haven't gotten past the second round. So now is a chance for a redemption story for you, right? The
Correct.
players, if that happened, right? The players all need to be brought in. And like the inmates cannot
Run the asylum. Right.
run the asylum was direction, then you need to follow line of suit, right? Giannis has lost a little bit of the cachet when it comes to making decisions in the front office. If that was your guy was horrible, Giannis. Now, it doesn't mean that you're perfect. Nobody's perfect. But your guy could not field out a good defense to save his life. Brook Lopez has looked old and washed, and we don't have any
Facts.
perimeter defense. How do you plan? This is like, we're electing a new president now. How do you plan to run this country? Because at this point, you very quickly have to get everybody up to speed. You are now catching up at the halfway point, which means you don't have an off season. You don't have a training camp. You can't implement fully your offense unless everybody now is saying, look to your families. We have to pull some all-nighters to catch
Facts.
up, right? You know
Mr.
what I mean?
Smith is spitting, y'all. He's spitting. Let's get them lights up. You hear this man spitting.
So now it's up to the players. How much are you dedicated? How much are you dedicated? Because now we can't just say, all right, well, we practice like 2 times a week or whatever the case may be. Outside of that, I'm spending time with my family. No, we have to dedicate more than we would normally dedicate if we're going to get up to speed. If Doc is going to get comfortable with the squad, if he's going to get comfortable calling certain plays. Everyone can do this from afar, but you're now in the captain's chair, Doc.
Facts.
You know what I mean? It's been a minute since you've done it. So you are now a part of the Milwaukee family. Mm-hmm. Welcome. But you saw what happened to the last person, right?
Don't mess around.
Second.
And I see people talking. I just want to say this to piggyback. People talking about the money. The owner that we have has unlimited funds. He's just like a Saudi Arabia oil baron. He don't care. You see how he clipped this dude? They clipped Bud. They not playing. They are here to win championships. At least a management is not playing. They out here not playing with nobody. They like Marlo. You thought it was one way, but it's the other way. I don't know if y'all watched The Wire, but they thought it was one way, but it's the other way. Let my man B-Shack cook. Go ahead, B-Shack.
But it's the other
What's up, Amara? What's up, Gibson? What's up, Mr. Smith?
B-Shack. Salute, B-Shack. Salute to Mr. Smith.
Listen, Aretha Franklin said, RESPECT, find out what it means to me. They got a coach they can respect. Forget all the X and O's for a moment. They have a coach they can respect. Let me name you some of the players that Doc Rivers has coached. Grant Hill, Tracy McGrady, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen,
Kevin Garnett,
Rajon
Rondo,
Blake Griffin,
yeah,
Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan, Kawhi Leonard. He knows how to deal with superstars and good
Facts.
Players. And so the respect factor is the most important thing right now, because what he says, he can execute.
Correct.
And I put in the chat a little while ago, have we forgotten that Doc Rivers used to be a coach and GM?
Oh yeah, that's a fact. I forgot about that.
He wore both hats.
What up, Jimmy?
So I think my man Horst better be careful, because he might let the lion in the den. But my understanding was, at the request of the Bucks, Doc Rivers was somewhat mentoring
Griffin.
Griffin from afar.
Right.
Also, my understanding is over the last couple of weeks, Horsch and his assistant did something they never do, and that's sit in on the practices.
Yep.
They came in the gym watching the practices. And I don't know if y'all remember me saying before, I wasn't sure if I wanted to win the Celtic game because I felt if they lost the Celtic game, he would be gone.
Right.
Report came out today that he would have been
I remember.
fired after the Celtic game if they
Wow.
would have lost. That win bought him some time. But this is nothing but positive right now. Doc Rivers is a veteran.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Listen, we all know about the playoff situations, but we just as far as our coaching IQ just increased exponentially this evening.
Correct.
And so I think there's a lot to look forward to. He's going to make sure this is what I am predicting. I am predicting that he is going to put the ball in Dame's hands. I saw a stat today that says that Dame's usage is like at 26 and Giannis is like over 30 right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to change.
Facts.
And I think Giannis is going to continue to do what Giannis does. I don't want everyone needs to chill because let me just say to the chat, don't worry about the ball being put in Dame's hands. Giannis is still going to get his.
Correct.
And if Doc can unlock this pick and roll, if he can unlock this pick and roll the way it's supposed to be run, and you know Doc is known for defense.
Right.
Doc is known for defense.
That he is.
So, hey, let's rock and roll. Let's get it.
And not from an assistant capacity, from an actual head coach capacity, and that's where the impact comes. It's different when somebody's above you and you with them while they doing something versus you being the ringleader. And that was kind of where we were fooled with Griffin.
Right.
We were fooled with Griffin because, you the understudy, the nurse, and then people saying you created this and that. It's different when you're in a support role versus a lead role. And we just saw that there's levels. That's literally what we saw was levels. And if Giannis is the reason that we hire Griffin, that he corrected is wrong. And we got to give him respect on that. It ain't working. My bad. Let's move on. And maybe it was a setup the whole time. Let me change screens real quick. I'm gonna bring you back in. Hold on 1 second. B Shaq. All right, go ahead, B Shaq. Go ahead, B Shaq.
Man, I think it's a great day. I think it's a great day for the Bucks. They did not waste any time. I mean, it's not even reported on ESPN yet. They reported it on TNT, and apparently it's it's solid info. He did say yes to the Bucks, or whatever they were offering. So, I think probably it looks like Prunty may be an interim for maybe a game or two at the most, perhaps. But now the schedule is about to get harder.
Exactly, and I think that was another big reason for the move.
Made this move. Exactly. We played the easiest schedule basically in the league.
Right.
Now it's about to be the hardest, and so you can't afford for things to stay the way they are because that means more losses.
Right.
And that means dropping in the standings. And I'm sorry. I think it was, I don't know if anyone see Magic Johnson's tweet.
No, what did he say?
Magic Johnson
that they made a mistake doing it.
Said he felt it was a mistake, right? But that's not even what I was looking at. He said the Bucks are too slow. And that's what I've been saying. They've got to find a way between now and the playoffs to get some more speed in that lineup, man.
Facts.
I mean, because Dame doesn't run. Dame is more of a half court type guy.
Correct. More of a Chris Paul type point guard.
He demonstrates the speed and quickness in the half court.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he's not going to take off and run, right?
Right.
And we need more speed in transition, and we need more speed on defense. We need speed on both sides of the ball.
No, I feel you on that one. I feel you on that one. So what you got to say, Mr. Smith?
If
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, if we're following the established trends that certain coaches have, right? Doc Rivers is definitely someone that preaches more balance than what we've seen, right? So, like, I've seen some of the chats, some of the responses saying that everyone was saying the problem is on defense. One person said, "I submit to you, the offense was the problem." Once again, I respect everyone's opinion, but I cannot disagree with that more strongly. The problem was entirely the defense, right?
Correct.
It changed the perplexity, the of every game that we were playing in. Whatever threes we were shooting, however brilliant Malik Beasley may have been shooting all this year, and he has been, how often is his shooting putting us up by 30 points or
Right.
up by 20 points, or rather is it the around us having to, we need that kind of shooting to get back in the games after we were getting just blown right off the court, right? So there's certain things that I expect to happen now. You don't hire a new coach with the current stock of players and think that there's not another incoming move, right?
Right.
Doc Rivers was one of the first coaches to field out like the average wingspan on his team, 6'7" with that enormous wingspan and whatnot. You look at what the Clippers currently look like right now. A lot of that had to do with Doc Rivers, right? You look at what the Sixers look like. A lot of that had to do with Doc Rivers. There's a certain uh, vision that he has for a team, right?
Right.
Once upon a time, I know DeJounte Murray isn't really looked at like that right now, but once upon a time, DeJounte Murray played for the Spurs,
He was a
and he had a
defensive
famous
guy.
conversation with Kawhi. Right, Kawhi Leonard said, if you expect to get on the court with Pop, whether it's as a scorer, whether it's as a starter, whether it's just coming off the bench, you better learn how to play defense. DeJounte Murray took that to heart, came over and he played defense. Now, the rest of his game developed eventually, but he's I think, a potentially excellent two-way player and would fit right into what Doc likes to do. Because I do think that Doc really likes that mid-range game with guys
Right.
with length. My question to the chat, to the panel, would be, what are you willing to give to get someone like a DeJounte Murray?
Correct. Well, we already know if we're trying to get him, we got to be real. We probably would lose Bobby Portis, which would be hard because we wouldn't have a backup big because we're wasting space with Robin Lopez and Thanasis. And that's what they want, from what I heard. That if we were to trade with DeJounte, they would want Bobby P, Beauchamp, and I think Pat Connaughton and like a second round pick or something like that.
Too much.
And that's a lot.
That's been what's reported.
Too much.
Yeah, and that's
What
a
say
lot.
you guys?
Yeah, that's a lot to me.
Well, perhaps if they could bring a third team in or something like that, because here's what I'm willing to give up, just in general.
Okay.
Let's my man Beasley. I will take somebody that shoots 2 percentage points less than him, maybe 3, that has more height and more defensive ability. Because one of our issues is
I'm
also
on
our
that boat
height and
too.
length in the backcourt.
Correct. Height and length.
Yeah,
Agreed.
so I'm saying that we can turn some knobs, because our offense right now is, without even being at its best, it's extraordinary. So it's going to get better. So I'm saying you can get a little worse in offense and better in defense, expecting the offense still to go upward because it's still growing. So I think you have to, right now, you got to tighten up that defense. As long as you have Giannis and Dame, all the other pieces are adjustable.
Adjustable. I agree.
They're adjustable.
No, I'm with that. I'm with that all the way. So, Gibson, what you got to say about that, sir?
I think
I just love the hire of Doc Rivers. I love Doc Rivers. Like what Bishak said, He's a well-respected coach, and
Mm-hmm.
I am just relieved right now. I am relieved right now that this idiot is out of here. I am relieved. I am relieved. I am free. I don't have to see the deer on the headlight, stand on the headlight on the island
He
looking
said
around like,
free. He said
huh?
free.
I am free right now, man. I'm
Oh,
free. I'm
let's get
free.
to 100 likes, y'all. Y'all did not see my man Gibson. He was in disarray yesterday, discombobulated, all types of stuff. Can we please get the likes up for Gibson? We should be at 100 likes, y'all. What's up, Bucks Nation? Let's go. Hey, we grinding, and we gonna be right
Man,
back here tomorrow too after this Cleveland game. Let's go, Bucks Nation. Go ahead, Gibson. And I see y'all in the green room too. I'll get y'all in here in 1 second.
after
Go.
after the second seven now with what Bishak say. Now for his assistant, we need to get rid of all them old assistant but they ain't making no use to this team. That Josh Oppenheimer, get rid of him. Get rid of him. He's
What
the next
about
one to go.
Gleason?
He's the
Gleason
first
ain't
one.
doing nothing either. We just hired him. He just wasting time too. Gleason, the dude we hired, get him out of here.
So so I think that when Doc come in, he will bring his assistant. So some of them assistant they go in now. Don't think they are gonna stay there to be warming up those seats. They are going to get removed. They are going to get removed. So I call
Do
it
y'all
again,
think that that's
and I will
possible? Let
call
me
it
ask
again.
y'all this. So, Mr. Smith and B Shot, do y'all think that's possible where they would give Doc the authority to come in like clean house as far as coaching staff as well? I don't know if he would get that type of green light. It
Well,
would be interesting.
well,
Was standard,
this what I
really,
heard today.
right?
I heard
I don't
today
know if it would
that
happen.
he might have, yeah, he might have to utilize the current assistants just for some continuity to understand what's going on and make adjustments. He may not be able to bring his own guys in until the off
Off season,
season.
right?
It may be, maybe he might be in one guy
Right.
maybe or so, but as far as wholesale changes, because a lot of his guys took other jobs, the guys he's worked with in the past.
Right.
But I think he's gonna have to hold on to some of these
Damn.
guys because for the continuity sake.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you there. What you gotta say? Hey, Gibson, you mind
And that's
dropping for a minute? Let me just tap in Jeff real quick. I just want to get everybody up in here. I know they want to chat with Mr. Smith
No
and
problem.
B Shack here. But before
No
you
problem. No
depart,
problem. No,
Gibson,
no problem.
are you in a good mood today,
Peace,
Gibson?
peace and loving. Peace and loving.
My man got his hat
Oh,
on backwards
I
and
give all
everything
the
today.
flowers to my GM for doing a tremendous job. I give my GM a tremendous job. A A+ straight across the board. He get that idiot out of there. Finally.
All right, Gibson,
Peace and love.
appreciate
I
you, bro.
step down.
All
Peace,
right,
salute.
peace.
all right, my man. Let me tap
Salute,
you in
Salute
here,
salute,
Jeff,
salute.
and
Gibson.
then I'll get you the rest of y'all in here in a minute. I know y'all be want to chat. Go ahead. We got my man Jeff, Mr. Petition, Mr. Picket in front of 5-serve form. Mr. I'm about to come all the way from
Yeah.
California to Wisconsin to stand in front of 5-serve form with a picket sign, Jeff. What it do, Jeff?
Hey, I want to say salute to Gibson, Mr. Smith, and B Shack
There we
first.
go.
Yes,
Salute, salute,
sir.
salute.
So
And
what you
here's
got
some
to say,
things that I've
Jeff?
heard that
Mhm.
that the ownership, they don't care about that second thing about, they're going to spend the money and
That's
they're
what
going
I
to do
thought.
what
Yep.
they can to get this Murray trade done
Mm.
without giving up Bobby, because Bobby is a leader on the team. And I
That's good.
also
That's a good
heard
point.
that Drew, I also heard that Drew, he may be back as a Buck next season. He has that player option, and he may be
Wow.
looking to opt out and come back to the Bucks on a pay cut.
Hey, can we get the likes up? My
Who
man
said that?
Jeff came in spitting. Can we get the likes up? Come on, 6
Who
to
said that?
100, y'all.
Drew
What?
wants Drew wants to retire a Buck.
Wow.
I
They
know he
did
Wow.
said
Drew
that,
and
right?
his wife
Is
didn't
that
sell their
dude? Is that
home
right?
in Milwaukee.
Interesting. Hey, my
Drew
man
didn't
is
sell his
bringing some
home yet.
real facts up here. Go ahead, Jeff. I'm quiet. I'm sitting back. Go ahead, Jeff.
Drew didn't sell his home. Him and his wife wants to be in Milwaukee.
Huh.
Now is that
So
new
he may be back
information or
next
is
year.
that just extrapolation?
Yeah, where you get that
Because
information from, Jeff?
I've been watching a lot of stuff about what's going on with Drew. He
Interesting.
didn't want to be traded. He wants to retire a Buck.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. You never know, though. You never know. You never know, man. My man Jeff
Could
came
y'all
in with a whole.
imagine a
He's not really
backcourt with Dame and
he
Drew?
may
Could
he's
y'all
not
love
really
imagine?
happy over in Boston.
He not even his. He don't even look like the same player, to keep it real, in Boston. I'm gonna be honest. I know people love Drew, but he don't look like the same guy in Boston that he looked like when he was in the
He's not
Bucks
happy
uniform.
there.
No.
He not the same dude. Not
He's
at
not
all.
happy there.
Not at all.
But if
Wow.
they do swing that trade
so
to get Murray, Marjan, and Pat pretty much gone.
Yep. That's fair.
They're gonna
That's fair.
definitely
and possibly
Marjan.
AJ Green. And possibly AJ Green.
Definitely.
But they're definitely not gonna give up Ajax or Bobby.
Salute 78 said we got Doc now 78, and you said we winning it all this year. Book it. I like the confidence though. Okay. Salute to
If they
78.
swing that trade, if they do swing that trade for Murray, it's a wrap. With Doc and Murray, it's a wrap.
I agree. Bless you, sir.
I love
You.
Murray's
Thank you.
game.
Because
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Murray will be put in the starting lineup, and Beasley's going to be put to the bench and coming off the bench with Bobby.
Okay.
And that's going
To
to
be a
be
microwave.
some
Or
firepower coming off the bench.
We definitely need
I
scoring
just
off
think
the bench.
I do like his balance. That's why I said my message has stayed the same, right? I love offense just like everybody else, but offense by sacrificing your defense is exactly what got us in this position now, right? You can't have traditionally bad scoring teams getting their season highs and career highs against us on a regular basis,
On a
right? You
regular
can't
basis. Yes.
on a regular basis, right?
Here's another
All the
thing that got
offense that
grip.
we have.
Sorry, Mr. Smith, to cut you off, but here's another
No
thing
worries.
that got Griffin fired. Giving up 141 points and 122 points to the worst team in the league.
Yeah, see, stuff like that. So I am interested. To me, obviously this was the result of a buildup, right? Because there's
Right.
no one action that'll get you fired from a head coaching position. But there is one action that can be looked at as the straw that broke the camel's back. And I'm interested to know what that is. Was it this Detroit series that got Coach Griffin fired? Because
it feels like it. It feels
Yep.
like that was the final
That's
straw.
the straw that broke the camel's back.
I think if we would have looked
on
impressive
wins.
and
That was the
blown
straw
out
that broke the
Detroit
camel's
both
back.
games, it would be different. He would still be coaching if we blew out Detroit both games. I think he would still have his job.
Yep.
It's the point of how we struggled, and we needed a Hercules performance from our superstars to beat a bottom feeder. I think they had enough. And knowing what our upcoming schedule is going to be against some real
To come
elite
back to win
teams,
those two games.
we can't play like that against the elite teams. We got to be playing Denver, Boston, everybody, Cleveland. I mean, we playing everybody. Sacramento again. Like, we can't do that without no coach. And Griffin was not coaching his team. He was just along for the ride. He was riding shotgun when he should have been driving.
He was just a statue on the sideline.
And a new mindset, right? So if I could be permitted to bring my guys in here, because I didn't get to talk about.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Right. One of the reasons that I so loved this last football season was the buy-in from so many players, right? So you had guys, the average age on the Packers, those guys are young enough to be my children, right? And we went up against like the very top in the league and should have beaten them, right? A lot of that had to do with chemistry. A lot of that had to do with buy-in. A lot of that had to do with things that were happening among the players outside of the coaches, right? This is our team. This is our time. This, you know what I mean? This is what I know who the Packers used to be, but this is a brand new day, and we want to catch up as soon as possible. And so it was the extra work, the sacrifice, the extra buy-in, the hanging out outside of work, the doing all the kinds of things that made them a collective unit versus like what you see in Milwaukee for a bunch of games, which are guys who seem like they respect one another and no one's going to say anything bad about one another. But for a very long time, they still, in my opinion, look like guys who were picked one another down at the YMCA, but they haven't gelled into us against everybody unit yet, right? Never mind who the coach is right now. Let's just say we didn't know who it was, right? Doc Rivers is nameless at this point. Your coach has just been fired because of your performance. Now, everyone is pointing to the coach as the main reason. But at the end of the day, the coach is not the person who's going to go out and defend pick and rolls.
Correct. They're not on the floor.
Or shoot threes. That's you who did that. And you did so poorly at it. Mind you, it was the coach who was at the helm, but a coach was fired.
Right.
That is fairly shocking, right? You know what I mean? Because I'm struggling. I'm a basketball historian. I'm struggling to remember the last time I could think of it happening for a contending team or a team that was considered.
The last time was LeBron with Cleveland when they got rid of Blatt and hired Ty Lue.
Okay, so there you go. Right? So I think what you see on those teams is the bounce back reality that no one's going to blame the coach now at this point. Right? Because if it's two different coaches who failed, the common denominator is at that point not going to be the coach, it's going to be for you. So if for no other reason than pride, go out and perform the way that you're supposed to perform. You have someone that is going to give you the structure that you so badly lacked. It was clear that you lacked structure. If Bobby Portis is sitting there screaming so loud that reporters who weren't even invited in the room could hear him saying that and then report it to the press, we need structure and all the rest of that. Giannis is all but saying it. You know, Giannis is not going to throw a coach under the bus, but Giannis it's like it was like leaking out of his ears. We're disorganized. We don't have structure. Okay, well, this person definitely brings that. For all that,
thank you,
you know, there are a lot of things that you could say about Doc. You can't say that he doesn't give a structure to a team. He definitely has a very clear idea of what he wants his teams to look like. Now, whether or not those teams get past the second round, we'll see. I think he has the best opportunity now because I think he has the best collection of players. And I'm like B-Shack. What I really like is he loves point guard led teams. So if the problem was with Dame assimilating into this team and really taking control of it, I think he has a better ability to do that now because he will have coach backing to everyone say, look, the ball is going to be primarily in Dame's hands. Not that we were bad in Giannis's hands, but we need to definitely catch someone who seems like he's a little bit behind up. I also think, I'm hoping that he identifies that there are too many guys, too many like-minded guys on the court at the same time with the previous coach, right? Where you had too many. To me, you cannot have Malik Beasley and Damian Lillard on the court at the same time for too long at all. Not for the stretches that we had. Not that they don't complement one another. I cannot be the only one who sees that. I don't want Beasley gone, but I can't be the only one who sees that. They have to fix Brook Lopez, right? If that means restructuring the defense so that he could be more effective again in the time that you have, or make a decision on him, because it can't keep going the way that it's been going. So, Doc, you have a lot of work to do. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm excited because I do think, and I want that to be my resounding thought on it. I do think that you're a better coach than Coach Griffin. I preach patience with Coach Griffin, but it never got better with Coach Griffin. Griff, it was good.
And Mr. Smith,
you tried. They didn't put you in a good position to succeed. We said that from the beginning. They gave you a Lamborghini. You could barely drive a pedal bike. It shouldn't have been you. It shouldn't have been you. You you needed to stay on the bench.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Here's the thing: what they're looking at with Murray, they're looking at with Murray and Dame as Dame and uh
With
McCollum,
CJ McCullough, where they had CJ. Okay.
CJ McCollum. That's what they're looking at. But that's why they're looking at bringing Murray in, because they're saying Murray is equivalent to McCollum with Dame.
Oh, he's even better.
He's better. Yeah, he's better.
He's better.
I agree.
Yeah.
If they get DeJounte
And
Murray,
they're also
then
looking at, as far as the Bucks being an old team, they're basing it off of what the Spurs were. They were an old team that won a championship.
Yeah. True.
That's what they're saying that the Bucks should be.
Now, for that
An
to
old team
happen,
that can
somebody
win a
mentioned it
championship.
before. Now, I'm not mad at that, Jeff, but for that to happen, this is what I would like to see. Keeping it real, maybe Middleton come off the bench.
I would be in favor of that.
Middleton, it would
I'll
be
be in
better
favor of it
suited
too,
on
but it's
this
not going to
team coming
happen.
off the bench.
I would be in favor
It's
of
not
that.
going to
It
happen
doesn't
though.
mean cut
I
his
understand,
minutes.
but I'm just saying that will give us what we needed off the bench.
And it doesn't even necessarily mean cut his minutes.
This is the starting lineup that they're looking at. They're looking at Murray, Dame, Middleton, Giannis, and Brooke as the starting lineup.
I wouldn't be opposed to that either.
Right.
If that's
They
the
need
starting lineup,
That's formidable.
that's a
That's
championship
formidable.
right there.
And you
That's a
move
championship right there.
you move Beasley to the bench,
Right.
and then regardless who starts, you stagger the minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And with a coach with Doc's experience, he'll do a
He
much
knows
better
how to use them.
Yeah, he'll do a much better job than Griffin. But I'm gonna step off after this comment.
Okay.
I do want to acknowledge the tragic element in this entire scenario. The tragic element is the fact that I really feel Coach Griffin was set up to fail.
Yeah, I said that. Yep.
Because he never should have gotten this job, regardless of what said.
Yeah.
What we have to remember is this: do you realize? And this is where some of the angst is coming in the media, particularly from African American players, okay, and African American journalists. Do you not know the Bucks have a better record this year than they had last year at this time?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, they mentioned that.
That's in addition to being second in the East.
Right.
So when you look
second
at
in
it,
the league.
it's
Tied
all
for
about
second in the league.
Yeah, it's all about expectations. Griffin is leaving with a winning record, and so let's hope he gets a job with a young team that needs building and development. This is tragic because he was set up to fail. This really should not count against his resume.
Patricia.
It really shouldn't count against his resume because this was a misplaced hire. And he should get another opportunity with a different type of team. Because once again, a young team, young players that you have to develop, I think that's his wheelhouse. Everybody talks about the role he played in their development. And so I think it was hard because the guy is a nice guy, but he was probably too nice for a team with a bunch of veterans that already won the chip.
Right. He just got his license and they gave him a Porsche. He wasn't ready. He just got his license and they gave him a Porsche. He wasn't ready. That's it. That's it.
I think he was like a mayor who was running for president without having been a governor. There are levels to it, right? You feel me? So there are levels to it. You've never been a head coach of any
Shout out
team,
to
right?
Mr. Smith.
You're going to go from being an assistant to being a coach of a team that can actually win it all? Bro, come on.
That's a huge jump. That's a huge jump.
Exactly.
For all the reasons that we had said before, that the minute you start running into any kind of turbulence, those players who have won it, those players who have much higher expectations, those players who've been MVPs multiple times are going to look at you and be like, what did you just say? Do what?
Right.
You know what I mean? And even if it's to their detriment, because that is the other thing that needs to be addressed, is that I think certain things are habit forming. So what I don't want, and again, if we're gonna use the football analogy, right? One of my favorite players on the pack. I apologize once again for all the basketball fans who are not like football fans.
Hey, I'm out of here.
All right.
But
See you later. Appreciate it. Before we go, salute B
Jeff,
Shack.
Mr. Smith.
Appreciate the knowledge. Let's get one more like up for my man B Shack to put us at 100, y'all. We had 99 likes. Let's get that 100.
Appreciate you,
Salute to
Amara.
B Shack, man. Appreciate you. Always spitting. Salute. Let me tap you in, WFSO. Hold on. All right, we got you in there. Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
So what I was saying was I was going to use the salute, brother. So what I was one of the things that I did not like in Green Bay, and I'm glad that they put like the stop on that real quick, was some of that turbulence that was coming out of Jair Alexander. Right, we never heard any issues out of him, and then he was just not listening to the head coach. Now I'm going to be the captain of my team. For those of you who are not football fans, essentially one of our best players on defense in Green Bay just flat out did not listen to the coach, led to an embarrassing moment on the field that was rectified, but he ended up being suspended for a game to put the kibosh on it, right? Bringing it back to the players, right? I get that you lost confidence in Griffin. Believe me, you would not be the only ones. The fan base lost confidence in Griffin a long time before you did, right? But you now need to get back to the coach being able to call the games and you having faith in the coach and the coach being able to call plays and you going out there and executing.
At the minimum.
At the minute, this can't be this, the coach is going to call something and we're going to run whatever it is we want to run, because that wasn't working either. You know what I mean? And I think that was part of what and I could be wrong, but I think part of like the commentary from Magic Johnson was based on that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I feel like that's legit. I feel like that's legit.
You have a higher profile coach who's smarter, who's more savvy. Trust your coach, because if it goes wrong again, it's not going to be the coach that they point at, despite the fact that Doc Rivers has his own checkered past as far as the playoff concern. It's going to be on you. They're going to say that you're underperforming. They're going to say that you're slow. They're going to say that you guys never figured it out. They're going to start questioning how much work that you put in outside of basketball, right? You are required to be there a certain amount of time. You do that. No one has heard about any players skipping practice or anything like that. You now need to put in the extra work. How much extra work are you willing to put in to catch up to the Timberwolves, to catch up to OKC, to the Celtics, to the Nuggets and whatnot? And the conversation that you started in, that outside of the Bucks fan base, it's a conversation and a power bracket that you've fallen out of. We still think the world of you, but we're fans. It's going to be like that, right? If you want the respect from the rest of the league and to reestablish that intimidation factor, we need to start seeing it on the court. No more of these 135 point allowing games. That is garbage. Like I don't want to see any of that anymore. So if it's a new day, it needs to bring on that spring rain. Wash away all the bad habits that we got in with the previous coach. It's a new day.
Right. And that's it. We don't even got to talk about the past no more. It's in the rear view mirror. We looking at the front windshield. It's wide open. Let's see what Doc or whoever coach that we get is about to do.
And here's the thing that you mentioned about with the Packers, Mr. Smith. You can see that Giannis was changing some of the plays. We saw that with the Packers the previous season with Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Yeah.
And they got rid of him.
They got rid of Aaron, right? Because he was the problem. I'm gonna tell you this, and this is a big difference, and this was damning. I think even though they're separate sports, when you saw what Matt LaFleur did with the youngest team in the NFL, and you saw the growth from the first half of the season to the second half of the season, and that second half of the season include beating teams as the likes of the Detroit Lions. You're beating the Kansas City Chiefs. You're beating you destroyed the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs. That's coaching. These are young dudes that you got to believe and buy in. If anything, that made Griffin look even worse. I understand it's different in separate sports. I get that. But if you're just looking at the fundamentals of coaching, you could see the gap. There's a difference in what they're doing in Green Bay and what we doing down here in Milwaukee as far as coaching. Them players bought in. Did you see the confidence they came in San Francisco with? It wasn't nobody shook. I know we
We
lost,
had
but they came in there and they
we had
thought they was gonna win that game.
we
I'm
had them
telling
beat. If
y'all.
that was a
Well,
boxing match,
they should have
we had
won.
them guys up on the ropes, and then we tripped and fell and knocked ourselves
Sells
out
out.
on the
Right.
fall.
Right. Facts.
Right. They did
Y'all
not
get what I'm
knock us
saying?
out.
That made Griffin look
Yeah,
even worse. You got this dude playing with all these young dudes. They thought we was gonna be a bottom feeder team, and we walk into the playoffs. We walk into Jerry's world, and Dog walked in, and we should have walked into the 49ers stadium and got them up out of here too. And the play calling, you could see the design, you could see the identity of what the Packers are trying to do. The zone scheme, blocking, the run. You could see it as a fan. You could see what they were doing, running people across the middle so people could do dig routes out. You could see everything that was happening. We were going up and down the field on an elite team. Up
How
and
many
down the
times?
field.
How many times did you see wide receivers wide, buck naked,
Nigga,
open?
open.
Just right. Everything that the Bucks were not, right? And I love the Bucks, where we were taking who many people thought was a less talented team and playing masterpiece chess, whereas the Bucks had masterpiece chess pieces and someone who was still playing Tetris, and they were like, or not even checkers, just like, what are you, Griff, what the hell is going on with you right now? Why are you? What
Right.
is even happening right now? Giannis is not even available for this game, and Brook is still playing out on the perimeter. Why is Brook only going into the post in the third quarter? Among many of the endless questions that I would have
Mr. Smith is
watching
spitting.
it,
He's in his real bag
right?
right now.
So like there were just moments when we all had like migraine headaches. Like, what is even happening right now? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like I said, it's a spirit of rebirth, renewal. And I hope that the players buy in. I hope that Doc has a plan that he is able to communicate to his players and he can get off the ground running, because you're kind of
Right.
behind the eight ball now. I hope that they give him more tools to execute his vision. I hope that he's already shown, the GM has already shown that he's willing to pull the trigger.
Right.
I mean, you just fired a coach before we even get to the trade deadline.
Right.
So the coach went in there and said, well, these are the players that I would like to get to help execute my vision. And the GM said, that's all right. You're not going to make it that far. You know, that's crazy. I've never even seen that. That's crazy. Coach
Let me let my
look,
man WFSO tap in real quick, Mr. Smith. WFSO, tell me how you feel, bro.
Well, I gotta
Well, I'm
go.
gonna talk.
Okay, you
I'm just
go?
gonna
All right.
act like
1 second, WFSO. We got to salute to one of the
okay.
legends in the chat. Mr. Smith, always appreciate the insight and basketball knowledge as usual. And we knew you meant
Salute.
business when you came in with the black do-rag. So once again, salute, Mr. Smith. Have a good one, my friend. And I hope the studying is
Salute.
going well. Salute, salute.
I'm trying.
Much respect
Yes.
to Mr. Smith. Let me adjust this here. All right, Mr. Smith. All right, let me tap in Jeff here. We're going to get out of here in a minute. We almost at the 2-hour mark. I appreciate all the support, all the likes. Hey, Bucks Nation, we cook like this after every game, or when something major happens like a trade or a coach being fired. So if you are true Bucks fans, this is where you should be tapping in. You see what's going on in the chat. You see the knowledge on this panel. Hey, who doing it better? Y'all let me know, because they lying. Go ahead, WFSO.
Well, I do got a couple of questions for you guys.
Okay.
For one, I know I'm just gonna throw the Packers into this.
Right.
Do y'all think they're gonna let go of Joe Barry, or are they just gonna keep him?
Ooh, that is the $1 million question. And shout out to my man's Mr. Cool. What up, Mr. Cool? I think he's a possibility. I think it's 50-50 that he might get fired. Maybe 60-40 getting fired.
They better let him go.
I think he's trash. I got videos from 3-4 years ago on my channel that I wanted that I wanted Joe Barry gone. With stats, I was
Right.
rattling off stats. I was actually in my bag in that video. Y'all ever want to see me go in on Joe Barry? Just search Amara's Logic Joe Barry. I was moonwalking on him with all types of stats and receipts. But go ahead, WFSO.
But
I'm
yeah,
giving you
I
that
did not
pivot.
like him ever since last season. I did not like him. But back to like the Bucks, and thank God that Adrian Griffin is gone. Thank God.
Hold on, no, we not doing all that. If somebody got participation points going on there, that's why. Salute.
No, that's my wife just saying, just
She
disagreeing.
ain't wrong. I respect that. Salute. I respect
That's just
that.
statutory duty, God.
Right? Hey, anybody could see he needed to be gone. Salute to your wife, bro. Go ahead, WFSO. Go ahead, man.
Well, hoping with like them getting Doc Rivers, and if they decide to change like assistant coaches or something like that, just hopefully, it'll be like
What up,
assistant
Sherelle?
coaches that he will, let them do their thing and they let him do his. So whatever they decide to do with the assistant coach, I guess the only time will tell on that part.
Yeah,
I know
that's
one
really it.
assistant coach that Doc will probably get rid of first is Vin Baker because he's good for nothing.
Wow.
Damn! Hey,
Wow.
Jeff! Hey, brr. That
I
came
actually
out of
like Ben
nowhere.
Baker though.
He just said
Vin
that
Baker
was just
don't do
random
nothing.
fire. He just came out of
Vin
nowhere.
Baker don't do nothing.
I'm with you.
And I know one assistant coach that Doc will bring in is Sam Cassell.
Woo! That
Because
would be
Sam
awesome
Cassell
if
is
he
Ooh,
could do
Vin
that.
Baker's boy.
that would be something.
Sam
That would be
Cassell is Vin
something.
That would be
Baker's boy.
something. I'm with that. I'm with that.
Wherever
Yeah.
Doc goes, Sam Cassell is with him.
Okay.
Ain't
So
Sam Cassell on the team right now though?
that's what I thought. I thought he was assistant coach somewhere. I thought maybe with the
Yeah, but I
Clippers
believe next season,
next season. Okay.
Sam Cassell is going to be with him.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right, y'all. I'm about to
But
get back in this chat. But go ahead before I get up out of here.
here's
Huh?
something. Here's something. Blatt was not the last coach that was brought in that got at midseason and did something.
Who?
Nate McMillan with Atlanta when they lost to the Bucks.
Oh yeah. I didn't know what year that was and who he was, what team. Okay, good looking on that
Nate
correction.
McMillan.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, another person that got let go too was Jason Kidd when he had that with the Bucks, and when they let Joe Prunty took over the first time.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yep.
That's true. All right, y'all. I appreciate
But the
y'all
Bucks
tapping
wasn't
in.
nothing at that time.
Right. I appreciate y'all tapping in. I'm gonna get to the rest of these comments, and we'll be right back here tomorrow after the Bucks play Cleveland in a win, and to start off the tenure of our new coach in the right way. So salute to you, WFSO. Salute to you, Jeff. Appreciate y'all. See y'all tomorrow, man. All right,
All
Jeff.
right,
All
see
right.
you later.
All right. Salute. That's my man's and them. Jeff at WFSO. My man didn't have to wear his hat today. Salute. Robert Brooks said get rid of the old assistants and old players too. Salute to my man Rob. What up, Rob? Oh, my man GC. What up, Gerald? Yeah, he was over his head. I wish him the best of luck though. Facts. Shout out to my man Gerald. Gerald, you need to holler at me, man. You need to holler at me. Let me know when you coming down, bro. Holler at me, Gerald. We get to a couple more of these comments. We gonna get out of here. Let me see who knew. What up, Jimmy Roller? Mac Jerry 82 was good. Drew said he wanted to retire Buck before he got traded. He might still feel that way. He looked like a shell of himself, to keep it real. Robert Brooks said Boston has too many weapons for Holiday to not get off. Yeah, I don't think it's hard into it there, to keep it real. What up, Sherelle? Sherelle said I remember Drew stating he wanted to retire a Milwaukee Buck. He's telling the truth. Bobby said the same thing. He wants to retire a Buck too. That's dope. Maybe he'll come back. Let me see what else in here. Salute to all the support today from Bucks Nation. It was a great turnout for this live today. Salute, salute. And we'll be right back tomorrow running it back as well for this Cleveland game. Pronte said, I would take Drew, but he was pissed about how he got traded. That's what I heard. Let me get a couple here. Gibson, my man, said, new coach, new mindset. Let's go. Absolutely. Salute. Patricia P, what up? What up, Patricia? Cynthia, all y'all. What up, queens of the chat? The final straw was Giannis scripting his own plays on the bit. Yeah, that was it. It was a wrap. It was a wrap. Mr. Cool with the receipts. In the month of January, Bucks were 27th in the league defensively. Exactly. He had to go. Writing was on the wall. Writing was on the wall. Let me see if I missed anybody in here before we get out of here. King Key said K mid for Murray. I would think about it. I would think about it. I definitely would think about it. Shout out to Keys. John Jackson said get rid of these old farts on this team. It's hilarious. Shane said Mr. Smith preaches the truth. Absolutely. We got some of the most educated Bucks fans in this chat. And we already know, we don't got to talk. We don't got to poke our chest out. We already know that it's some Bucks staff that is in the lives and watches these episodes. So anything that we can do is say, let's say it, because we are helping our team win. We wanted Griffin gone. We got him out of here. We said we wanted Dame. We got him here. Where everybody thought we was crazy talking about Dame. He here now. So next, let's support Doc Rivers, and we got to make some tweaks to this roster though. This will not be our final roster, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee we make moves before the trade deadline. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Derek After Dark said some official news. Brewer signed Ryan Hoskins. Okay. Dope. Let me see who else in here. I also make sure I don't miss nobody. I know more than you said, why would Middleton come off the bench? Because we need more scoring off the bench. And he seems to play better with a second unit. Taylor May was good. They need to trade Middleton. He's damaged goods. I'm not against that. Like, if you want to trade Middleton for Murray, I'm with it. Shout out to you. Cream City 1846. My frenemy, what's good? Y'all done got Griff fired. We just hired Doc Rivers. I know he about to talk crazy in the chat later. Salute to you, Cream City, my mans. Me and him always going back and forth. Let me see. I saw a new person in here. Let me get to you before we get up out of here. Man, I appreciate all the support, all the comments. It's some real good conversation going on in the chat. That's what I be telling y'all. It ain't no other Bucks podcast giving you this energy, giving you these information, this receipts from so many multiple sources. What? Hey, y'all need to be sharing this. We should be, it should be like 600-700 people in these lives, real talk. The way we be spitting and dropping this knowledge out here for the people. Bucks Nation. And what do we say here? Friends and family. Y'all know what it is. John Hassel says, then don't try for the job if you set up for fail. Yeah, that's true, John. That's a decision that Griffin made. Correct. I'm with you. We'll see my man Jimmy Roller. Vorn 2 times. What's good? What's good, Vorn? I just seen you up in here, but these chats going by so fast, my dude. Yusuf was going, what Doc is not our coach yet? It's tentative. I'm not sure. I'm gonna check when I get off the live though. Revo said we're paying 3 head coaches' salaries. It is what it is. You gotta go through something to get to something. They got a bag. It is what it is. My man Vorn Times 2 said they're saying the Doc hiring isn't set in stone. Woj and Shams didn't post that info. There we go. Shout out to you, Vorn. Jimmy Roller said the analogy Mr. Smith used was spot on. Mr. Smith is usually spot on. Shout out to Mr. Smith and B Shack and the rest of the panel members. My man BC from Portland was good. Doc Rivers is bringing Terry Stotts back. That would be wild if he did that. That would be wild. D Gift said, "I'm Amber. I'm not big on hiring Doc Rivers. He's still better than Griff, y'all. So that's on a positive. But I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. We 2 hours in. Appreciate all the support. And as I always say, salute to Bucks Nation. Salute to the best Bucks chat on YouTube. Salute to the best Bucks podcast on YouTube. Really appreciate the support. Hey, we growing, y'all. Y'all see the community is growing, the subscribers is growing. We got new people popping into the live and in the chat, and that's all we trying to do. We trying to make this for real the official #1 location for your Bucks content. Like I said, we go live after every game, usually unless I'm traveling or something is going on. And after any major event, we gonna go live that day because we here grinding, trying to provide all the information that you could ever want about the Milwaukee Bucks. And once again, salute the Bucks Nation. Appreciate the support. I'm Amara. This is Amara's Logic, Milwaukee Bucks trades, rumors, and news live edition, where we just got done politicking with friends and family about the much needed firing of Coach Adrian Griffin halfway through the season. We're looking at Doc Rivers and a few other candidates, but regardless of who we hire is going to be better than Griffin. And Griffin, I don't think this was the right job for you. I hope you get another opportunity with a young team to really show what you can do, bro. Salute to Bucks Nation again. Go. This is a great live. Salute to Bucks Nation. This is a real great live. Enjoyed it. Salute to everyone. Go.